Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. You know, when a man cannot see himself, that is, when a man's sense of identity has become so diminished and so compromised that he really loses his internal center, and he becomes so disoriented that his sense of direction is almost totally compromised. That man can become like a stray bullet. That man can behave like a wildfire, just burning out of control. Likewise, that man is very vulnerable and very susceptible to manipulation through fake approval, flattery, false validation, and such, right? And so I'm thinking about, for example, I remember in my freshman year at Howard University in DC, I remember one night in the dorm, freshman year, it's notorious for those late night conversations, right? And we're in the dorm and I'm talking to this brother. He's from West LA. I'm from Pasadena. So, we're Southern California cats. And we're hanging out and we're just talking and kind of commiserating, right? And in the process, he starts describing for me how life had become so meaningless for him, how he was, just so uncertain and insecure, and in the beginning, like I said, we were commiserating, and I'm thinking it's kind of like what happens in your freshman year, and you're away from home, you're homesick, you're in a different state. The lifestyle and everything in DC is so radically different from California, and you know what I mean. We're talking along those lines, but then it just got so deep. He was so somber, and he was so sad, right? And he starts to tell me that this is not something that has come up as a result of coming to college. This is something that has been kind of bubbling up in his life for the last couple of years. So he proceeds to tell me about how he had, maybe around junior year in high school, he got uh, involved in the LA gang activity, which was easy to do at that time. It was really easy to do at that time. Like, even though I and all my close circle of friends, we were pretty straight laced, but all of us, like literally all of us, had a cousin who was formerly, in the game, on the gang side, on the drug side, or both, right? And so I understood what he was describing, you know what I mean, about being so close to it and then, being drawn into it. But, then it got really deep because, the brother just was sobbing so sorrowfully, because he started to describe for me the night that he was involved in a drive-by shooting. And this had happened literally, less than a month before we had come to Howard. And, I'll never forget him saying, I might have killed somebody and I don't even know it, you know? And I remember how quiet it was as he was describing this to me and how I could hear him breathing. I could hear, the tightness in his throat. Like the air was barely able to escape, let alone the words. Like it was like they were just squeezing through his esophagus, you know what I mean? It was so tense. And I could feel it. My whole body, like it seemed like every muscle in my body was so tense, right? And I really felt the remorse and the regret that he was living and he was grappling with, And so I couldn't really say anything. The only thing I knew to do was to be present with him, You know, of course, I didn't have that language then. This is like I'm 20 years old, right? But in retrospect, I know that, you know, what I was doing was I just was holding space for the brother, you know, and listening to him and not judging him, not condemning him, right? But just being present with the difficulty of what he was grappling with at the moment. But it is based on that moment and reflecting upon that time that honestly it drives my passion for trying to guide my people who are now coming into Orisha lifestyle, right? Because I know that the experience, fundamentally, the experience that you need, it's not just the experience that you want. It's like a craving for a food that's going to give you certain nutrients, certain minerals, certain vitamins. You know you need this experience. And the experience that you need is this connection that's going to restore and ground and connect your identity to something real. That's what you need. I know that's what you're aspiring to. That's what your soul is craving, you know. And I tell you, you know, emphatically, the beads and the pots and the titles are never going to fill that void. They're never, ever. No matter how many you accumulate, no matter how many you put on, no matter how many times you say it, no matter how many times other people call you this and call you that, those are not going to be enough to fill that void from the inside. You have to build yourself from the ground up. You have to cultivate yourself from the inside out. You have to go through that painstaking work of sculpting yourself with the hammer and the chisel of relentless self-evaluation, personal scrutiny. You've got to be introspective of yourself and hammer away at the self, you know, and chisel away at those parts of yourself that are blocking your ability to really see who you are and where you come from and why you're here. Really, there are no shortcuts. It's not glorious. You're not going to get any fame for it. There's not going to be crowds of people around co-signing and saying, yeah, go, and fanning the flames. No one's going to be there for you in that part. Well, maybe one person is going to be there. Maybe one. But there's not going to be all those crowds of people that you're around. It's just woo, woo, woo. You know, nope. This is something that you just got to go inward in order to find that true kernel of your identity, right? Because identity is destiny. Paraphernalia is not destiny. Pots is not destiny. Titles is not destiny. Your destiny is something you've got to discover, you got to earn, you got to own it, and then you got to proclaim it, and you got to represent it and live it in every single moment, in every situation of your life, for better or for worse, dark or light, right? And so I really am determined to support you, support my people in the process of reclaiming, restoring, refining your identity. It takes longer, but in the long run, in the end, it's far more gratifying. It's far more gratifying. Okay? You can only lead people where you are willing to go yourself. And if you're only willing to lead people to the mall to buy stuff, you know, then you're never going to create the kind of experience for yourself or for others. But if you're willing to lead people into the depths, into the darkness, into the heart of who you are, then you're going to start to see transformative breakthrough experiences over and over and over again. But you just got to be willing to put in that effort, put in that work. So this is a message to the leaders. I'm talking to the folks who are determined to help bring about the good condition, who are determined to improve the world through positive influence. If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how Obafemi Origuwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you transform your life. It can help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you're destined to serve. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and that will heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.